What in God's name are we doing?
So the question was about human
Look at how
trafficking,
it
and
makes
he's
us look
answering
around
this
the
way.
world. It's mortifying. It's embarrassing, and it's dangerous.
About the plane with people
It's
in it.
dangerous. If the president doesn't know better, which he has to know better, then my Lord, we're in much more trouble than I ever thought we were. It's bizarre.
Human traffic is
And,
bizarre.
This is a case where, I've been surprised, pleased but surprised, with folks I've had political arguments with, like the former governor of Michigan, coming out and endorsing me. All the Republicans are endorsing me.
No, they're not.
They're rich where I am. That this can't go on. I mean, this cannot go on. It's a deconstruction of a democratic system. They know it.
Human sex trafficking is what we're talking
So
about.
I just, I'll conclude with what you heard me say many times before. The words of a president matter. Even a lousy president.
Wow.
Succor, it gives encouragement to people who are spouting irrational views that no one has even close to ever presuming or showing ever existed.
This man didn't even answer the question.
From the very beginning, he's understood the only way he could win the first time and can win this time is he fundamentally divides the nation.
Wow.
Puts the nation, divides us over at each other's throats. That's not who we are.
Biden.
That's not.
What does
who
that have to
we
do
are.
with sex trafficking?
Thank you, sir.
Confused? Pick the nose. Next. Who's next? Oh, gotta get the note cards.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Last night, President Trump mocked you for wearing a mask and said that this is a sign that you must have some, quote, big issues. He says this even though he knows that, according to scientists and public health officials, wearing masks saves lives. I wonder if you worry that this kind of language
Does
that
it?
comes from the president.
What about your
of the United
eyes?
States
What about
would
your
deter some
ears?
Americans who are tuning
Can't
in
that
to him to
coronavirus
not
get
wear
in there
masks.
too?
Well, I wear it for a reason. It's a big issue. I'm a smart fellow.
You're also 80 years
Listen to
old.
science.
You're high risk.
This is not a game.
Tell Pelosi
Life
that.
and death. Life and death.
Pelosi was seen not wearing one.
Maybe there's some reports say another 100,000 dead, as many as 100,000 dead.
160,000 dead from the CDC. Only 6% of those who died
I don't
is related to coronavirus.
I just
That came out from the CDC, Biden,
it's
Come
hard
on.
to respond to something so idiotic.
because you can't.
Okay. Before my second question, just quickly, have you been tested now for COVID-19?
Yes,
Every
I have.
day.
How many times?
I've been tested once with a deep test, and I'm going to continue to be testing on a regular basis.
Could I just ask quickly about Attorney General William Barr saying on CNN this week, he said that his assessment right now is that China poses the most aggressive threat to U.S. elections, even more than Iran or Russia. Do you believe him? Is that also your understanding based on the intelligence briefings that you have received?
No, it's not consistent with the briefings I've received, and he's a lousy enough attorney general, but he's a really bad intelligence officer.
Of course.
It's not consistent because you believe.
Because I believe what I've been told.
What have you been told,
And you
Biden?
all know it. I mean, look.
No, we don't. That's why
It's,
we're asking.
You even have outfits like Facebook taking some of it. Look, it's just
He doesn't know the
there
answer.
are a lot of countries around the world I think would be happy to see our elections destabilized. But the one who's working the hardest, most consistently,
Is
and
Trump.
never has let up, is Russia.
Oh, I got that wrong.
Again, it's unfair to say to you guys, but ask yourself the rhetorical question. What is he so afraid of Vladimir Putin about?
Really?
I mean,
Biden.
what's the problem?
What is
I mean,
you?
Nothing.
You didn't take your
Nothing.
meds this morning,
It's
dude.
almost obsequious.
Obsequious. I like that
I
word.
mean, anyway,
Obsequious. Lost your train of thought.
I just want to make it clear.
You forgot the question.
I believe any country that engages in any activity to delegitimize or impact on American elections is a direct violation of our sovereignty. And if I'm President of the United States, there will be a response.
If you're president of the United States, our world will crumble. Somebody follow up on the human
It's been a
trafficking.
couple of weeks now since you announced Senator Harris as your running mate, and we haven't seen her out very much, including yesterday in Kenosha. Why is that, and what role do you see her playing in the final?
She's been on the road. She's out herself. The role is that, just like when Barack and I campaigned, we tried to cover as much territory as we could.
Well, she's not being
And both of
televised.
us out campaigning. She is an incredibly competent candidate. She is doing a great job. There will be times when we're together, but there's a lot of territory to cover. I talk with her almost every day. I speak with her. We work
Oh,
together.
Biden,
And I have
Biden,
great
Biden.
confidence. There's nothing about not campaigning together. It's about being able to cover more territory.
And just as a second question, do you know when you will have another COVID test? Do you have any plan, any future testing coming
It
up?
seems like
They're going to do it on a regular basis.
Asking
because
questions that
everyone
were pre-approved.
on my service detail and people who come into the house with me, they're all attested. So yes sir, show up and put my head back.
Just
know?
like you do with everybody
You
else.
don't know when it'll be?
Yes, sir, I'll do it.
Pardon me?
You don't know when the next one will be?
Well, I don't know. I imagine it'll be sometime this week. I just don't know. But it'll be a regular basis.
Thank you.
Somebody follow up with the human trafficking.
He asked you about another thing the president said last night. He once again suggested to his supporters that they should consider voting twice if they're in one of those states that
Oh my
can.
God, that's not
allow you
true.
to request an
People,
absentee ballot.
he said,
So
check
that
and make
then
sure that your vote counted. If it didn't, then
The
vote.
officials have said it's a felony in some cases.
Lord have mercy,
curious
I
what you
am
think.
done with this.
It is.
Biden.
It is a felony. You're a felony here in the state of Delaware.